What happens when the U.S. government grinds to a halt? Tensions are escalating as President Trump prepares to meet with congressional leaders, with a potential shutdown looming. Here's what you need to know, and why this situation is more complex than it seems. Soldiers may face unpaid workdays, despite a $150 billion Pentagon budget. Active duty service members are classified as essential personnel, meaning they'll keep working during a shutdown. But here's where it gets controversial. They might not get paid until Congress approves new funding. The Republicans' One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA, allocated $150 billion to the Pentagon. But experts say most of that money isn't earmarked for soldier salaries. Chris Towner, a policy director at a Washington think tank, explains, the way we fund military compensation is through separate accounts, and those weren't boosted in the OBBBA. While the Pentagon could technically use $1 billion from immigration-related funds to pay some troops, Towner calls this approach inequitable and unlikely to be used. Historically, Congress has passed standalone bills to ensure military pay, as seen during the 2013 shutdown. But will lawmakers do the same this time? Only time will tell. Democrats demand assurance. A deal must be a deal. Senator Tim Kaine, representing thousands of federal workers, made it clear ahead of the White House meeting, "I want an assurance that if we make an agreement, it will be honored." Kaine criticized past Republican actions, where agreements were broken, leading to chaos for constituents. He emphasized that Democrats are pushing for a permanent extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, which expires soon. Is there a problem with asking? He challenged reporters. His message is simple. Don't expect Democrats to back down on healthcare protections without guarantees. Social Security payments will likely continue, but services could suffer if a shutdown begins on October 1st. 74 million Americans receiving Social Security benefits will still get their checks. Why? Because these payments are funded through mandatory spending, which doesn't require annual congressional approval. However, customer services like benefit verifications, Medicare card replacements, and earnings record updates may stall. Max Richtman, of the National Committee to Preserve Social Security Medicare, warns, the system hasn't missed a payment in its 90-year history and won't start now, but delays in administrative tasks could create real headaches for beneficiaries. Will Congress prioritize these services, or will they fall victim to bureaucratic gridlock? The answer lies in the coming days. A shutdown would trigger the Anti-Deficiency Act, but what does that mean? When funding runs out, the Anti-Deficiency Act kicks in, halting non-essential operations. Essential workers, like those protecting life and property, will keep working, but won't get paid until funding resumes. Non-essential employees face furloughs, though back pay is guaranteed under a 2019 law. But here's the twist. The Pentagon plans to furlough 334,904 civilian workers, retaining only those deemed critical. Could this set a precedent for future shutdowns? Critics argue it normalizes chaos, while supporters claim it's a necessary cost of political dysfunction. The March funding fight haunts Democrats' strategy. Last month's contentious funding battle has left Democrats wary. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer initially backed a GOP proposal to avoid a shutdown, but faced backlash from his own party. Now he's doubling down on healthcare demands, arguing, as for these massive layoffs, guess what? They're doing it anyway. Republicans, meanwhile, blame Democrats for stoking distrust by opposing Medicaid restrictions and foreign aid rescissions. Is Schumer's shift a tactical move, or a sign of deeper Democratic fractures? The answer could shape the next chapter of this crisis, a history of shutdowns. Lessons from the past. Since 1980, the U.S. has experienced 14 government shutdowns, with the longest lasting 3 days under President Reagan. The 2013 shutdown, sparked by a healthcare dispute, cost $3 billion and left 800,000 workers unpaid. Today's standoff over healthcare subsidies and immigration mirrors past battles. Will history repeat itself, or will this shutdown mark a turning point in congressional negotiations? The parallels are eerie, but the stakes feel higher than ever. What's next? The clock is ticking. Congressional leaders are set to meet with Trump, with Democrats demanding healthcare assurances and Republicans insisting on immigration concessions. As tensions rise, one question lingers. Should essential government functions be held hostage in partisan debates? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you side with Democrats' healthcare stance, or do you believe Republicans' funding demands are justified? The outcome could redefine how America handles political gridlock in the years to come.